Nope, you do not have to always feel good, be confident, or be positive in order to grow your business. If you have been thinking that, then you are going to love today's video where I'm going to share with you what's really going on and why so many people give that as advice you have to do in order to grow your business. A much better reframe that's going to help you grow a much stronger business, and saving the best for last, how to turn whatever you're feeling into something that makes your business even better, stronger, and more profitable. So you're gonna love all of that. If you're new here, hi, I'm Luisa Zhou. I've been running a 7-figure coaching and course business for the past 8+ years, and I am very much human. I feel the whole spectrum of emotions, and so what I'm gonna be sharing with you is exactly what I do and what I've helped many, many people do to grow their own businesses as well. With that, let's talk about the common misconception that you have to always feel confident or positive or high vibe in order to grow your business. I can't tell you how many people I've had come to me and say, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling great. Is that why I'm not getting clients? Sure, it might affect it a little bit because it's better to be positive than feel negative. But at the end of the day, what's really going on is that most people giving you this advice are not distinguishing between two very different feelings. One is feeling bad, right? Feeling sad, feeling dejected, disappointed, bad. Versus feeling negative, where your mind is on a loop and your thoughts are constantly following the track of, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to fail. I'm going to have to go back to a job or stay stuck in my job, or I'm just never going to be able to do this because I'm not cut out for this. That's the difference between feeling bad and feeling negative, and most people confuse them. What you want to do is make sure that you're not constantly feeling negative, because you've probably heard that your thoughts do create your reality, because what you're constantly thinking, you're going to be acting out. Versus if you're feeling bad because you believe you can do this, but you know it's really hard. You can even have moments where you think, am I really going to be able to do this? As long as it's not the constant thought in your head and it's overpowering everything else. But you can feel bad and still grow your business. What's more, what you want to be thinking about is using those opportunities, those feelings, to grow your business even more, to identify growth opportunities, because really at the end of the day, that's what it is. If you are happy all the time and everything is going exactly the way you expect, you know the only time that happens? When you are in your comfort zone, when you know exactly what to do, when you know exactly what you're going to get, and probably it's a little bit boring. So when you are feeling bad, it's because you've encountered something new. You've run into a new problem, and we've got to learn, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur at least, how to realize that it's normal and then make it work for you. So 2 really important things that we're going to go into some more. The next thing that we're going to talk through is how to reframe this. So here's the thing. If your business, contrary to what a lot of people will tell you, depended on how you felt, right? It would not be a very strong business. If you had to be in high vibe all the time to manifest more clients, if you had to feel positive in order for your business to grow, guess what? That's not a real business, because your business should be actually an entity separate from you. Sure, in the beginning when it's new, right? It might be very much dependent on you, might be kind of doing everything to grow it. But as you go on, you are creating something that runs on its own. Otherwise, you've just got a freelancing gig or another job, even if you're the boss, and no matter how well it pays. So when you realize that, then you realize, okay, my business is a separate thing. I get to feel whatever I want. I still get to run it, and it still gets to make me money. And frankly, it has to if you want your business to last for any amount of time. Personally, I have run and grown my business even through periods when I was first making money and just went a little bit crazy and, was traveling every other month. I have grown my business during times when I was going through some personal health issues and could only work maybe like 10 hours the entire month. Right? And all of this is not that I was creating passive income or doing something like really magical. I had built a business where I had a team, I had systems, I had things that operated separate from me. So if you're thinking my business relies on me, right? This is a huge aha moment for you that's going to allow you to make your business even stronger. Where is it relying on me, and how can I shift it so that it is a separate entity from me? I can feel whatever the heck I want, and it will continue to grow. Again, you won't necessarily start there from day one. Frankly, no one starts there on day one. But the sooner you start thinking about that and planning that, the sooner you will get there. So that's part 2. The next thing I want to share, the really best part, is essentially how to turn whatever it is that you are feeling and going through into fuel for your business. So it used to be, and I remember reading all the entrepreneur story books not growing up, but as a young, teenager in my 20s and in my 20s, that it would feel like an entrepreneur would have to go through a period of their life where they put everything on hold for a few years. They slept at their desk, they worked nonstop, they worked like 20-hour days, they sacrificed their health, their sleep, their sanity, built this business after a few years of sacrifice like that, and then kind of coasted and had smooth sailing for the rest of their lives. There's even that quote, entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life the way most people won't, so that you can live the rest of your life the way that most people can't. I do agree with that in one sense, where it does take a lot of hard work to build a business and grow it from scratch. But I disagree with the overall sentiment that you've got to put your life on hold. That's just not how it works anymore. We have thankfully evolved where entrepreneurship is, first of all, a lot more common, a lot more within reach because of the tools and social media platforms available to us nowadays, and just general society being more accepting of entrepreneurs and small businesses. And with that, it has shifted to where building a business is a part of your life and something that grows as you grow and live your life, versus something that you focus on 1,000% while you put the rest of your life on pause for hopefully just a few years and hope that it pays off. That's not how it works anymore. So when you own that, and you start absorbing, okay, so my business is part of my life. How can I really incorporate it more and make it so that I am able to be myself, live my life, and grow my business? So they're, part of one entity, AKA your life, versus my life and my business. Then what that does is it allows you to use everything you are going through in your life to fuel your business. So instead of this thinking that, okay, I got to be perfect with myself, with what I'm thinking, so that everything can be put onto the business, instead it becomes about, how can I turn whatever I'm going through, because that's life, that's humanness, essentially, into something that helps me grow the business. So when you think about that, how do you take the good and make things even better in your business? How do you take the bad and use them to make good in your business? So I will tell you the way that I have personally done it. And this has made me millions of dollars through my business. And so get ready. Essentially, what I do is whatever I am going through that's bad, I first accept it. I don't make it mean anything about my business not being able to succeed, or that, oh my gosh, I can't feel it, because then that means I'm not going to be high vibe and I'm not going to manifest growth. No, I allow myself to feel through it. And in fact, I purposefully feel through it. So I'm not suppressing anything, because what you suppress continues to grow until you face it. And so I feel through it, and then I turn it into a teaching moment for myself. What do I need to learn? And how can I learn it? And then after I have truly overcome that moment, learned what I needed to do, I turn it into fuel for my business. And if you think about it, this kind of situation is really what fuels the majority of businesses, especially in the beginning. A lot of businesses are started because the entrepreneur, the founder, went through something themselves and figured out a way to overcome it and now want to help others with it. Or they had a problem that they wanted to solve and no one else was giving them a solution, so they solved it themselves, or they created the business to solve that thing for themselves, and in doing so help others with the same problem. For me, how that has actually looked like is every time I go through something, I will learn what I need to, I will figure it out, I will test it. And then once I have truly mastered and understood what's going on, I turn that into another course. And this has been the cause of some of my best selling courses to date. So, for example, when I was first stuck in my job and I wanted to build a business to leave it, But I wanted to make sure that it was a high paying business that would responsibly replace my salary instead of just having me leave my job and hope for the best. I figured it out. I spent quite a few years figuring it out, and then it came together. And then I said, okay, I'm going to share what I learned with others because I don't see anyone else talking about the solution. And frankly, I had to figure it all and piece everything out together myself. And so I'm going to share it. That was my first ever flagship course, Employee to Entrepreneur. And by the way, I want to note, if you can hear sirens in the background, I get this comment a lot because I'm hearing them right now. It's because I live in New York City, and it happens with videos like this where I want to have a conversation with you. I'm not going to cut it out because that breaks the flow of what I'm saying to you. So just in case you're wondering, that's a fun side note. So with that, so that's one example. Another example is when I was booked out with one-on-one coaching clients, but I wanted to continue growing my business and frankly, free up a little bit of my working time. So I figured out how to create a course, a group program, and how to launch it. Even though I did not have a big audience, I did not have a lot of time. I wasn't going to do the typical thing where you spend months or years creating a course and then hope that it sells. I didn't have that time or space. So I figured out a different way to create and launch a group program or course. And then I turned that into my second flagship product. That's just two examples to show you what I'm talking about. But frankly, every single one of my products, and at this point, I've created over 20 courses in my business, well over 20 courses or trainings. Pretty much every single one of them has been some result of something like that. And because I create my products from that place, by the way, they are very unique. They don't sound like anyone else's because my problems are unique to me. I mean, the reason why I had to solve them on my own was because I couldn't find a solution. If there was a solution, I wouldn't have needed my own figuring out. And so these courses are, these products, this applies no matter what you're selling, services, products, etc. That applies. And so I'm able to create unique products without having to do market research, without having to sit and think, what's going to be the thing theoretically that I hope will sell? It sells a lot better because I believe in them and people connect to that. And it allows me to create things that really share what I've gone through and make it about, unique to me versus just another copy of someone else's business. And if you do that, right? If you are able to take that approach from the very beginning, whenever you're feeling down, bad, not confident, etc., see it the way that I just reframed it, and then use that, go through that, of course, go through and figure out the thing first, but know that this is the process. And then know that, okay, once I get through this and figure this out, I'm going to be able to turn it into something that fuels my own growth even more and helps even more people. That has been basically, I would say actually, the root of my entire 7-figure business that has been going on and growing for 8+ years. So take that as you will. Now, if you have appreciated this real talk and you're like, I like this, I've got 7 more untold truths for you about what it really takes to build a successful business. These are things that other people are not telling you or they are not really understanding. And so I share with you only what I've personally gone through and figured out. And so if you are appreciating that, you're going to love this next video, which I will put somewhere on the screen.